were in a text chain, and then I remember I was like typing in all caps because he had pissed me. I was all caps, and then he was like, you know what? We're not going to do this. I'm not going to keep arguing with you. We still going to have to deal with each other. Even after this argument and any of the next ones, we're going to have to deal with each other because we got these kids.
Big facts. So I know that that realization happens, but like, what was it that allowed you to start to really put that into practice and be like, all right, we need to cool it? And I'm asking mostly your ass because it seemed like you was the goddamn problem.
I admit it. I was a problem. Okay, I was a problem. It was just a mixture of all things. I started going to therapy. He was going to therapy. So I think it was a mixture of all those things. It was just like, nigga, we gotta deal with each other.
That shit is so sobering. It's like,
it is.
I can't get away from you
at all. Like, you just can't.
Alexis, and the purpose of this channel is to have real conversations about life, love, and relationships. And I have been doing this series on divorce and how ghetto unfabulous it is, because this is my life, y'all. So, deal with it. Like, this is where we at. And the purpose of that is to make sure that people that are going through similar things or have gone through similar things know that they're not alone. So anyways, lately, because of that, I've been having a bunch of discussions about the struggle that people have kind of trying to redefine that relationship with their ex after a breakup. Because it's weird when you go from the person that you know the best, that you're most intimate with, that knows everything about you, becomes basically an associate or a business partner. So there's a lot of aspects of that relationship that now have to be toned down, and you have to understand how you now deal with those things. And so usually that happens when you have a kid with the person, but sometimes it happens if you're just, I don't know, still running in the same circles as your ex, or for whatever reason, you have to run into them a lot. So for the lucky ones, you get to cut ties with your ex and you never have to see their ass again. But for those of us that have to interact with them on a regular basis, especially if we're raising a kid with them, it's probably in our best interest to learn how to work that shit out, And so, at the mid to low end is just dealing with each other. But I think the goal is to actually work well together. And, if you're able to become besties with your ex, by all means, go right ahead. I think that would be great. But also, if you're not, that's okay too. And I'm here to say that you don't need to be besties with your ex. It is nice if you're able to cultivate a loving relationship that you can raise your children together in, but that doesn't mean that your kid's life is going to be better off necessarily or anything like that. It's just, you get to where you can. And this is also me speaking from a place of, I ain't there yet, not today, and who knows goals, but also maybe not. But today I have the pleasure of speaking with the longtime homie. Like, we go way, way, way back, like hitchhiking in from the movie theater because my daddy fell asleep and forgot to pick us up. We had homemade homecoming dresses, problematic love interests, and just all around no business ratchet activity. Yep. But anyways, fellow content creator, entrepreneur, single mom, but not for long, of two beautiful grown-ass babies, Miss Be Creatively You herself. Brittany, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey, y'all. It's me, Brittany, a.k.a. Be Creatively You, BKA Be the Creator.
What you do? Tell the people what you be doing.
So what I be doing is, my full-time job, I work lots of jobs. I'm always doing something. But my full-time job is a membership coordinator at the YMCA. But my side job / other full-time job / business is the Slime Laboratory, where we host birthday parties and events for children, showing them how to make slime. My other business, we just gonna name those two. Those are my major two for right now.
Okay. All right. Well, the reason I wanted to talk with Brittany is because she is my inspiration. She is, I don't know, she found a way to work extremely well with her ex, and they raised their children together in a way that I can only aspire to raise my daughter. So I want to get her input on how the fuck did y'all get there? Like, what was it like dispelling any of the myths? Because, I mean, again, that's goals for sure. Whether I'm gonna
Yeah.
get there, I don't know. Maybe this
Yeah.
discussion will let me know if it's even possible. Because right now it feels impossible. I'm not sure. We'll see. All right, so let's get started. So, what is the dynamic between you and your ex currently?
Currently, right now, we are probably very close friends. Like,
Okay.
we're co-parents slash friends, which is very crazy to say after the craziness because it has been a roller coaster. But
Uh-huh.
right now, we friends.
Where were you guys, would you consider yourselves to have been friends when y'all first got together, or like
um, when we first got together, we were in college. So we were very cool. So yeah, I would say that we were friends because like I was dating this other guy in college. And me and this other
sounds
guy,
like the Brittany I remember. Mm-hmm.
I know, yeah. I was dating this guy and he was like, we was breaking up. I was going to college. I was like, forget this. I had gained like 40 pounds or whatever, dating this guy. Went off to college and he tried to start stalking me. So basically JB swooped in and he was kind of like my Captain Save a
Whoa,
Hole.
we over here name drop. Well, I mean, I'm sure those initials apply to a lot of people, but
No, I don't give a damn. I won't name drop the exes, but everybody knows who my baby daddy is.
that's facts. That's facts. He ain't going nowhere. Okay.
No.
All right. So yeah, y'all were friends, but I'm sure there was like interest or whatever, but you feel like there was a
Yes.
friendship there to begin with, at least.
Yes, there was a friendship. Looking back, hindsight, we probably should have stayed friends.
All right. Well, mm. tell I don't know. Tell your babies not to watch this episode. Maybe.
I don't care.
Yeah.
The level
Okay.
of different level. Once you become friends with somebody, it's like we done had this discussion.
Yeah. Okay. I feel you. I feel you on that. All right. So
Yeah,
how long were you guys together, and how long have you been apart?
we were together for 12 years,
Good Lord.
married. Yeah, married for 9 years. We've been separate. We've been divorced completely legally for 2 years, but we've been separated for 4 years. So we separated in 2018. Is when
Okay.
well, actually, like January-ish 2019. The shit hit the fan in December of 2018. Let's just say.
Mm, mm. Okay. Okay.
Big
Okay. Okay.
although I like to set myself on fire for everybody to watch, so we good.
I'm not trying to be here when you self-destruct, okay? Like,
Saying like the cat has been out of the bag. Okay, when it came out the bag, he made sure to throw it at everybody.
oh snap. Oh snap.
Oh man.
uh, okay. When did things start to get good between you guys? Like, or I guess when did they get bad, and then when did they start to get good?
Ooh, so it got really, really bad. I would say in 2016, it started getting. He got out of, I don't want to tell all his business, but he retired from his job. Man, he got out of the military. What? Then we wound up moving back to where we started in Warner Robins. Things got a little shaky. I was working full time. He was working full time. The stability was kind of ripped from under our feet, and we didn't prepare correctly. So the number one reason for divorce is finances, and that is what rooted, like that took a fork and rooted into our relationship completely because our finances had been shaken in the beginning of our marriage. Like our finance was a hot mess. Like and so in the end of our marriage, I don't know if it's coincidence, but it was a hot mess too. He was really struggling after getting out of the military, and we were just like clashing and colliding, and then things went real left. I'll go ahead and throw myself under the bus,
Mm-hmm.
but I stepped out. I was the cheater, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Me. I stepped out. Then when he found out, it got real real nasty. Like
I get
it
it.
got real nasty. I could have lost my job over that because he told like my coworkers, he told my family, he called everybody. He was on a rage. That's why I said I'm surprised he ain't called you because he was like he was searching for everybody, and I was just like,
You know, that's interesting because yeah, usually it is the other way around, and it's usually the idea is that the woman is the one doing this, like trying to like all this vengeance that she's seeking on the man to like just take everything from him, tear him down or whatever. But it literally goes both ways. So like this
it,
discussion is not particular to the woman or the man. It's
no,
just divorce in general. This is just how it be.
yes, because it was bad. It got
Yeah.
real. And then something else came about, but we ain't gonna discuss that because me and him still be going toe to toe with something else that he counteracted.
I mean, I mean, you started it.
I started, but he damn sure he
Uh-huh.
had everything on his side for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
he did
He balanced the scales a little bit.
but he fucked himself up that way. He burned himself with everybody by doing that.
Well,
So
usually, you know, men don't be as good as we
he,
are. When we when we do bad, we're better at doing it most of the time.
yeah, child, because that was just stupid. It was pointless. I was like, why would you do that?
Bless his
Like
heart. He tried.
his 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 reaction kind of catapulted everything
The actual divorce filings and stuff like that.
because um it was like, yeah, I did some fucked up shit. So I had to admit to everybody what the hell happened, had to tell this story. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Embarrassment of it all. It was just like, but I had to take the accountability. And I was like, I did it. So I was like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta consequences. But I wouldn't even excuse myself from that, but it's the biggest reason why like I chose to step out was I was seeking something that I just wasn't getting from my marriage. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, that's always when the thing that you want the most comes in through somebody else is when
Right.
y'all are a hard rockiness. But that's when it got real crazy.
Yeah.
Um, then fast forward into 2019, 2020, I moved out from him. And then I wound up staying with my family, which was a whole nother fucking shit show. Like a
Yep.
whole added
Yep.
a layer onto our we were already butting heads, and it added so many more layers because I came into him gossiping to my family about me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, sir, you in the house that I'm paying the bills in, go home. What are you doing? And his excuse was always, well, my kids are here. And so we had got like, we were like, no.
Yeah.
And I wound up, our lease was up with my family. I was not going to renew that because of the craziness that went down in there. So I wound up having to stay with him for 2 months until my apartment was ready. So that kind of push things back into perspective because we
Hmm.
were like forced to deal with each other again. Like we were nice, but not like, I don't know.
Together.
It was very weird because I had to stay with, I didn't have to, but in order to save money and the kids and all that stuff, it was best that I just lived with him until my apartment was ready. So that was in, what was it? 20, was that 2021? What were them dates?
Girl.
I family 2019.
2020 erased 17 years, so just don't even try. Don't even try.
It was it was 2021 when that was like April and May I lived with him because my apartment wasn't going to be ready until June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And oh hell. So that actually kind of probably gave us back a little bit of glue to our friendship because we
Hmm.
were with each other, like we were laughing and joking. I was in one room, because he had a 2-bedroom apartment. So I was in one room, he was in another. The kids was bouncing around from the living room to wherever they fell, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So our apartment was ready, but that's when we really kind of noticed that we kind of had to work together because we have 2 school-age children. Kids have doctor's appointments, kids have things going on at school, homework. When you get up into that elementary school and my son in middle school, these deep discussions, the discipline, is when we really truly realized like we got to work together because
Yeah.
we full of humans to take care of, and they both were very distraught by our divorce.
Mm.
Because all my son knew. That's all both of them knew. Like that was it. It was mommy and daddy together. They've never seen anything else. So they took it kind of hard. We wound up having to put them in therapy. And then it was a letter that my son had wrote to us.
Oh
That
shit.
yeah. Yes, I was like, talk to your kids, like, because my kids we don't whip our kids or whatever. But he wrote to us a little letter saying that he felt like it was his fault that we were separating. And yeah, from there we kind of was like, look, let's just cool it. And so he kind of initiated it before I did because, you know, the woman liked to be rah rah. So he kind of like was pushing more. Like we was in the midst of an argument. I forgot what it was. We were in a text chain, and then I remember I was like typing in all caps because he had pissed me. Like, I was all caps, and then he was like, "You know what? We're not gonna do this. I'm not gonna keep arguing with you. We still gonna have to deal with each other, even after this argument and any of the next ones. We gonna have to deal with each other because we got these kids."
Big facts.
I couldn't really say nothing. I was like, "You can't win this one," but I had to let him have it. So I was just like, you know, you right. We gotta deal with each other forever because we got these damn kids and they gonna have kids and we gonna deal with each other forever. Like, so yeah, that's when it started to get good around 2021. So it's only been a year. In the span of all that craziness, there's only been one full year that we have truly been cool.
And it was that realization, or it was having to live together again, you think, that
It was a little
really
bit of
pushed
both.
that?
Mainly probably more having to live together again. And having to like work around each other's schedule and all that stuff. It was just like, damn, we gonna have to deal with each other. Whether we living together or we not living together, whether we divorced or not divorced, we gonna have to live with each other.
So I know that you know that realization happens, but like how does the behavior change? You know, like how does, because either whether you know it or not, you still be being petty and stuff. Like how did the behavior change? What was it that allowed you to start to really put that into practice and be like, all right, we need to cool it? And I'm asking mostly your ass because it seemed like you was the goddamn problem.
I admit it. I was the problem. Okay, I was a problem. I started the trouble. I was the problem. I don't know. It was just a mixture of all things. And then I started going to therapy. He was going to therapy. So I think that helped a lot when it came to like what was it? It was a mixture of all those things. It was just like, nigga, we gotta deal with each other.
That shit is so sobering. It's like
it is because
I can't get away from you
at all. Like you just can't. The unfairness of like when you bring kids onto the table, it's kind of like if somebody else go to jail or God forbid die, that's the only way. Like because I'm not the disciplinarian, he's the disciplinarian. So I am way more passive when it comes to certain things, and he's like, oh.
Girl, that's a whole nother topic. We can touch on it because I got time. Like the idea when you are separated and you're having to spend that time with your children and you don't have that disciplinarian to back you. Not that you can't discipline your child, but we don't be doing it that well. In the same way that I see, you know, we nurture better, they discipline better. Just because I don't know if it's the bass in their voice or what it is that makes a child just listen easier when a man speaks than when we do. We have to like, well, we think we're supposed to raise our voice, but it doesn't become stronger. It just becomes more annoying and easier to ignore, if anything. But we do raise our voice thinking that that's going to precipitate a different response. It doesn't. But yeah, we don't know really how to inflict that same type of, I don't know, response from them as a man can do just by simply speaking. So what has that been like for you, trying to like do the things that your ex did, and what is it, you know, what do you see on the other side of him having to step in and do the things that you did? Or do you guys have a relationship where he's able to still provide the discipline when you have, custody or time sharing, and he's able to do some type of nurturing when he has the kids?
Yeah, so we don't really have to, we're able to still share all the same things. So I didn't have to start stepping in and being a disciplinarian, because even when we were married, we had already agreed, like, I'm going to discipline the girl because I know the thought processes of a woman,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to discipline the boy because he knows the thought process. But we do still step in. Like, for
Yeah.
instance, got in trouble. I'm like, your daughter acting up in school. You need to say something to her. And he'll still come because he's at my house every damn night. Okay. Okay. Like, he's here every single night. There is not, it's, he's not at my house 4 days out of the month. Four
Why is
days.
that?
2 weekends that he has the kids. Because
Why is that?
because I'm always, the kids do their homework here. I pick up the kids from school. Well, they come to me because I work at the YMCA. So they come over, they take the bus from school to the YMCA for the after school care program. So then they're with me. We come home, I make dinner, and then he comes and helps him with the homework. He eats dinner 95% of the time. So it's almost like,
Y'all married.
shut your ass. We don't, but the caveat to that all, we have not had sex with each other since
So
20.
y'all are married. That's a marriage. It's a marriage. Y'all haven't had sex, but y'all do everything together. That sounds like a whole bunch of marriages out there.
But I mean, it just works. Like,
Yeah.
literally,
Families
when
fucking work. That's why.
it does, because it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It works a lot. Maybe because we're in different places too. Like, we're both stabilizing within our career paths. We're both on a different we're just on a different vibration, if you want to say that. Like, but we talk about dating though. Like, I'll tell him when I have some hiccups with guys. I'll ask him questions, and he'll tell me about his dates and his flings. So it's, the
It
dynamic
sounds
is
great.
like,
It sounds like y'all gonna go together soon. That's what it sounds like. But
funny thing to that though, like, it's like we kind of sort of were dating because, okay, so his mom took the kids for a whole summer. So we were like, go hang out and go get food and stuff like that, because we was like, the
no
kids
kids.
want to go get stuff. I
Yeah.
get so used to each other after 12 years. When you spend ages 18 to 30 with somebody, it's just, we got so used to having each other there, to the point where even though we're divorced, we still have each other there. If something bad was to happen, we know one or the other is going to swoop in.
Yeah.
That so
But to be honest, it sounds like what you have is healthier than a marriage at this point.
it is. I think so, honestly, because we were arguing a lot in our marriage, especially towards the end. We were arguing so much, and I just feel like it's just much
It's kind of
better.
like you took that romantic component off the table, and
Yes.
now just
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, now you guys actually are able to work on a more like a friendship level where you are there for each other in that way, but leaving the romantic part to somebody else.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Wow.
Now that you said that, I just can't, like, I just realized that that is exactly what it is. The romance was completely taken off the table. And once
Yeah.
you, not good for baby mamas and baby daddies to sleep around with each other, because it's like, it muddies the water.
Yeah.
Once you take that off the table, there is no muddying of the water. Y'all are here for the children and for the children only. Like, we laugh and we joke and we have fun, and he be over here and stuff, and we be goofing around, but it's literally no romance at all.
Yeah.
Like, at
Honestly,
all.
that sounds dope.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but also like really comforting, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
possible.
crazy. Girl,
Yeah.
girl. Girl. Impossible. All right. So what kind of boundaries did you have to put in place to make this work like this? Like, how did y'all like get to the point where you're together, there's no romance, no sex? How did you, and even just like being able to help each other, does that get in the way of other relationships? Like, how do you set these boundaries to make this new friendship with your ex-husband
Yeah.
work?
Well, at first, it got real complicated at first. Like when I first started dating, he started dating. Because the sexual tension wasn't there, it's almost like the boundaries happen naturally because it was like we ain't sleeping together, so there is no real lustful emotion. Because lust can make you feel some type of way, and you be like, I'm still in love with him. Like, nah, I love him, but the boundaries were like at first when I first moved into my own place, I was like, you got to let me know when you coming over. I need to know. Like, you just can't pop up to my house because at one point he was just popping up randomly, and I'm like, look, you can't just pop up here. I can't just pop up at your place because we don't know if somebody else got something going on, if somebody's here. But then I guess another boundary that was put in place that makes this much easier is nobody can be around our children without us knowing them. So, but part of our divorce decree, we had in there that, like if he got a girlfriend or if I got a boyfriend, we would have to okay that person to ever even be around the children. Like nobody is allowed around our children, which can make things it has made some dating kind of an issue because people are like, what? So I gotta get permission. And it's like, no, but I'm
I know what you mean.
it's like, no, you don't have to get permission, but I don't need a stepfather either. Just like he don't need a stepmom because it's like we are
Yeah.
still very active with our children's lives. So I just need somebody for me. But some people don't take it that way and they make it a big deal. So it has those boundaries within our children's that we set for our kids for their protection.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gets in the way of some if somebody's really immature, they just don't understand the dynamic. Because
They're also not the one because you need somebody that understands that. And yeah,
exactly.
whether you have that in place, that's between you guys. But as the parents, you can make whatever fucking rules you want.
Exactly.
So so if the person isn't on board with that, then they're probably not the one for you. It
Yeah,
ain't gonna work.
that we both like completely and utterly agreed with because
Yeah.
and that boundary off of that one thing, all the boundaries kind of were set for themselves because it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to
Yeah. We actually had that in place. I don't know that we are still really big on that just because at this point, I think we have come to the conclusion, or at least he did. Like he trusts me enough that he trusts who I would bring around my daughter, if anybody. I don't know if that goes the same way for me, but
I don't know.
also I'm just kind of at that space where I don't have the energy to be preoccupied with you living your life. Like
Yeah,
I I'd rather not. And it's not it takes like having to have the force of the law behind you to actually do anything. It
yeah,
discourages you from even getting caught up with that. It's just like, honestly, whatever he does, as long as my daughter is safe, I really can't. Like,
yeah.
I literally can't do anything without going to the judge. So it really becomes a moot point. But for
Oh
the
my god.
most part, it's like whatever. But I want to go back to like you guys, like the romantic part. Is it because like prior to you guys getting to the space of divorce, did that romance kind of die? I'm trying to figure out, when did you get to the point where you guys could be around each other and not lust after each other, to get to a space where you can live together and that not become a stumbling block? Because I think one person that I was speaking to, like trying to force that to happen before you're ready, that there's that
Yeah,
awkward phase where you're like, "Ugh, I'm used to fucking you," but also, we probably shouldn't, but it's also comfortable and you're here. So I think that space of the relationship definitely needs to die before you can try to cohabitate and do this whole, oh, we're gonna be roommates. Come on
it,
now.
um our romance and romantic relationship was dead before the marriage was.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is why I don't have to a lot of boundaries. There's not a need
It's
for
not
a
as
lot
hard. Yeah.
because like it was the last couple of years like it was like the romance was just not there.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was
Which is
dead.
probably like one of the reasons why you may have, stepped out. And then I think also being the woman that felt that way also because usually if the woman is the one that like feels like emotion still, I feel like
Yeah,
it'll prolong things. I feel like when the woman's done, like things can probably just go smooth, like easy breezy, like I'm done. So nigga, what you holding on for? I feel like most guys like, okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. And they're just clear cut. This is the new
Yeah.
standard in the relationship.
Yeah. So yeah, because that made it way less hard when it came to boundary setting because we don't hug, we don't kiss, we don't like there is no like I do not want him sexually. He don't want me sexually. Like there is no sexual tension, which
Mm-hmm.
makes I think it changed the dynamic completely
Yeah.
because it's we're like, I won't touch him with a 10-inch broom. Like I
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
boy like brotherly friend at this point. Like as
Yeah.
they sound like, yeah, we slept together for 12 years, but well, 11 probably out of them 12 years, but
I'm off that.
I don't even I have like no I don't want him like that. Like sometimes I see him and I'm like, dang, you look good. Like when he done got his hair done or he done got a fresh cut or something. Like we compliment and tell each other that we look really nice, but
Yeah. That's
that
it.
tension is not there. And
Yeah.
that plays a huge role. If that sexual tension is still within a relationship, you're probably not going to be able to get to the point where we are. Like
Yeah.
for real, for real.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's really good. That's good. I, yeah, I don't feel that, but I'm also not having to deal with him regularly. But I definitely know in the beginning that gray period when you're still living together while you're getting whatever set up, your new housing set up, that is a very gray space that is confusing as fuck to be in. It's like, I don't know, that trying to be roommates at the same time is just super weird. But
Yeah,
once you get past that, I do understand when it dies, it dies. It
yeah,
dies. Like you just don't look at them the same way. Like I think it's just too much nonsense built up to like really see
yeah.
them with those eyes. Maybe ever again. I don't know,
I
but
don't know. It's been. I don't know. I don't even like. Sometimes it do like pure transparency and honesty. Sometimes it'll like trickle in my head. Like maybe we could have made it work, and then I just like, but I'm not saying
yeah,
I
yeah.
have that chemistry. It's just it's we friends.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Something that also is because I've been able to have so much good chemistry outside of that,
mhm.
it opens up your world and you're like, well,
Yeah.
shit.
Yes.
Nah, nah.
Yes. It's like, and that's where I guess that comes into where we can have conversations about who we've been messing with and who we've been dating and how the dating pool is going and
Yeah,
but like we can have those conversations because it's like I don't like him like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. How has that evolved over time? Like, was it ever oh, well, who is this kind of feeling?
um not really because we see I guess that's a bridge that we haven't crossed yet because we have yet to either one of us have found a stable relationship. So
Hmm.
he had a woman that he was thinking about introducing to the children. They were dating for like 6 months or so. And so but I still didn't even really truly I didn't meet her. So at first I was like, you finna do what with who? You wanna meet who? And
Yeah.
then oh, whatever, what's her name? And then he told me about her and all this stuff. But we never, I guess they broke up before we got a chance to meet and for her to meet the kids, which is a good thing, which is why we don't
Yeah.
like just bring the kids on board because it's what
Yeah.
like start liking people and then you break up with people and then they be
Yeah.
like person that so I guess that's a very good boundary that helped overall to loop it back in.
Yeah.
Um to dating other people by not introducing your children immediately or them having to come through me first to meet my children.
Yeah.
That dynamic. So
How
we
much
have
time how much time do you guys usually just is that an agreed upon amount of time before you introduce them, or is it just wait until the other person has been introduced, the other spouse has been introduced or whatever, or
um
parent?
or I guess it just depends on either one of us. Like
Okay,
if
okay. If you feel like it's serious enough, you
yeah.
bring it to the other person. Okay, okay, I got it. So yeah, so since, our daughter is so young, it's not a matter of introducing, because ain't nobody,
Yeah.
first of all, she wouldn't know what the hell that meant. She sees people all the time. Are you my daddy? No, I'm just joking. No, it's never like introducing her to somebody. It's just about being around. So in the past,
Mhm.
it would be about whether or not somebody is in her proximity. Like I ain't nobody meeting her that is not just a regular friend.
Yeah.
But if somebody's at the house, like for instance, when she's asleep or something like that,
Mhm.
I still feel like you should know
Yeah.
who has the potential to be a problem. If not that
Yeah.
you expect any of that to happen, but you at least know who's around your child. But also, I mean, I do know that there were people that were looking at us, well, at least on my side, looking at me sideways because of having that in place. Like, you're
Hmm.
doing, even my lawyer was like,
Really?
that's kind of a lot. But it just depends on who you talk to. But
Yeah.
honestly, it just depends on your relationship. If however y'all feel, like we both were in agreement. We didn't care, but I think we also both feel comfortable with each other's decisions as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So we backed off on it, I think. But yeah,
Okay.
I do understand it. But I was curious, like what kind of time limits people put on. Is it more time, or just what you feel as far as the, seriousness of a relationship to kind of get you there? But
It's just business. Like literally, we didn't put you gotta wait 6 months until you with this person. No, but if you feel like the relationship is a relationship and you feel like they're worthy of meeting my child, then
yeah.
I mean,
So I want to skip ahead because going back to like how you felt initially when he was kind of having the serious thing, because I know that both you and I have dealt with the bitter baby mama syndrome. Now, I know that we've dealt with it on the receiving end, but
mhm.
have you ever been that bitter baby mama? Have you ever gotten in the way of any of like his romantic endeavors?
Hell no. Like I'm like, please, who's gonna be a
Yes,
come on, step right up. Like we
girl.
I told him
Yes,
like we don't be them parents that have the stepmom, stepdad shirts on. Like
yeah,
we gonna be them going like
girl.
Bill and Jay on a family trip with the boyfriend and the girlfriend. We truly are.
Listen, I definitely remember like the first guy that I was like dating seriously, like he had, he had a co-parenting situation going on too. And we were both just like fantasize about like, what if one day just all of us together, your kids, my
Yes,
kids, your ex and his person, your ex and her person,
yes.
like, I don't
Like we
know.
cool.
It's a
Like,
fantasy. It's a fantasy. It would be, I was like, I think it would be so great if we could all actually, but both of us actively hated our exes. So it was, it
so it's more
wasn't,
in your world, but in my world, I don't think it's too far fetched.
yeah, yeah.
Like we'll probably be at that point, like for real, for real. As long as the others are fine, me and him, we're fine. Like we're like, I don't give a damn. We can all sit in the living room and watch football. Like
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I feel like I could do that with the person that I once knew. I'm not sure now, but only time will tell. But like I'm definitely mature enough to do it. Like there's nothing, at least on
yeah,
my end. So, and yeah, I love it because it sounds convenient as fuck. Like,
it is.
yes, help me
Like
raise this child.
village, we surely can be that village. So
Yes.
I've never been that baby mama though. I'm like I'm because I don't even consider myself a single parent nor a baby mama. I'm like I'm an ex-wife. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a parent because
He's
every
there.
he's there. Yeah, like he's here. Like I don't need
Yeah.
nobody taking in. No, like if I call, he gonna get them the clothes. He gonna get them the shoes. If I need some money, he gonna send the damn money. It's like
See, so yeah, I like my ex is in the picture, but not in the way that yours is. So I still do feel like a single mom. Like I feel like I have to make decisions separately because we can't really work together in all these like discussions and stuff like that. It just the communication just isn't there. So I do feel that single mom ish, but I definitely would love it. The way that you're talking about it, it just seems so whole and healthy and right. And I'm just like, damn, it sounds so simple.
yeah,
Like
it is.
raise your child to get that. Just do what you were supposed to do without like that part. Like just take that little part out and then leave the rest. That'd be great.
It is simple. It's not easy.
All right, guys. Yep, you guessed it. That's all for today, folks. You're going to have to catch the rest of this conversation next week, airing Wednesday. And trust me, it gets better. It is good, y'all. So thank you so much, as always, for rocking with me, rocking with us. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel, y'all. Tell your friends about me. If you listen to the podcast by audio, check us out on all the streaming platforms. Wherever you look for podcasts, we're there. If you are on social media, that's Twitter, that's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Check me out. Is_Alexis. So that's ISS_Alexis. No E, no I, double S. If that isn't confusing enough, just check the link in the description for all of my handles. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in another episode. Bye.